I don't know about you, but when I first started microblading, I found it really difficult to work on a three-dimensional object, the human face, because you aren't just working on a flat surface anymore, you're actually having to determine where your body position should be and where your hands should be and how to hold taut and how to hold the skin flat on the bone so that you can microblade properly. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to microblade on a mannequin head. All you'll need is a mannequin head, blades, gloves, some pigment and a pigment ring, maybe some alcohol wipes, baby wipes, paper towels, stuff like that, and maybe a dental sheet to put underneath the mannequin head so you don't ruin your table. My name is Christy and I'm the owner of Boss Brows, 4-time certified microblading artist and trainer. My channel is all about sharing tips and tricks of the trade to fellow microblading artists who might find this useful. So if this sounds like something that you're into, make sure to subscribe down at the bottom. When I work on the left brow, I'm actually working across my client, which means I'm going to be pushing my stroke. But because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing better, I won't be holding taut like I normally would, and I'm actually sitting in front of her right now. So my body position is a little off, but that's purely for this filming exercise so that you can see. What's cool about this tape is it makes that same Velcro sound you hear when you're microblading on skin. Listen carefully. When you first create your strokes, you want to start with the frame. The frame are the strokes that are on the outside. You want to create the frame so that you can wipe away your pigment and see the shape. After you've finished your red, yellow, and orange strokes, then start from the tail, working your way towards the body, building each staircase off of an orange stroke. The only orange stroke that you do not build a staircase would be the very last orange stroke that's on the brow mapping line. Make sure all of your strokes in the staircase are pointing towards the tail. Every time you go to make a stroke, dip your tool into your pigment ring. Make sure to only grab a little bit of pigment. You want to still be able to see all of your strokes. If you put too much pigment on your blade, you won't be able to see your strokes. Therefore, you won't be able to get them as close together as you need in order to make the brow look nice and full. Once you've finished all of the strokes in your tail, you can wipe away that pigment so that you can see the strokes even better and then fill in the body. If it's harder for you to see your strokes, you can use a Q-tip and get it wet, or use a baby wipe and wipe away each stroke at a time to see the placement of where you put that stroke. I find that in the body, the strokes need to be curved a little more than in the tail. Make sure that these strokes are pointing towards the spine. Once you finish doing your brow, double check to see if there are any empty spaces where you could squeeze in another stroke. Now I'm working behind the client, so I'm going to be pulling my tool towards me. When you pull the microblading tool, you really need to make sure that you're using that thumb twist to create that perfectly curved stroke. So again, when you're pulling the tool, you're going to be twisting your thumb towards you counterclockwise. When you're first perfecting your stroke pattern, it may help to draw in the spine. Especially for these strokes right here, you want to make sure that they curve perfectly, pointing in the direction of the spine. This will help you to get your strokes to lay flat and eventually fall towards that lower arch. After you've created the border, wipe away all of that pigment, but make sure not to wipe away that bottom line before you fill in the tail. You're going to still need that part of the brow mapping so you can properly place your tail strokes. If it's hard to build your staircases with all the pigment still on the synthetic skin, then go ahead and wipe each stroke away with a Q-tip as you're filling it in. After you have finished the entire tail, then you can wipe away all of that pigment because you won't need your brow mapping anymore. You already have enough strokes in there to see the eyebrow shape. After finishing all of your microblading strokes, clean the brows with an alcohol wipe and check out the final result.